Women-homewreckers by Zodiac Sign. Who is she? The one because of whom men forget the past, break destinies, and leave those with whom they built a life? Who has such an inner force of attraction that she is able to take away even the most faithful? It's not magic, it's nature, encrypted in the Zodiac Sign. Today we will reveal the truth about women whose energy destroys marriages and takes away hearts. They do not always do it consciously, but their charm, manipulation, voice, and looks are like an ancient key to the male soul. They have no goal to destroy, but men themselves follow them, losing control. You may be surprised, but among them are not only fatal seductresses. Some hide behind a mask of modesty, others behind intelligence. But the essence is the same. They bring temptation. Watch this video to the end, and you will find out if your sign is on this list. Or maybe you have already encountered one of them. Subscribe to the channel if you want to know more about the secret mechanisms of attraction, energy, and the zodiacal nature. Here we do not talk about banalities, but what really works. Ready? Then begins the revelation about women who do not forgive, and who are not forgotten. The first sign is Capricorn. She does not enter the game for the sake of flirting. The Capricorn woman breaks up the relationship when she feels that she can do it quietly and flawlessly. Her intervention in someone else's union is not a spontaneous act, but a strategic calculation in which there is no place for emotions. She never claims the status of a mistress. She simply enters the man's life as if she should have been in it from the very beginning. The strength of Capricorn is in the ability to create a sense of the correctness of what is happening. While others ask, "Why are you doing this?" He is already looking for a way to stay with her forever. She does not play, she acts, and she acts precisely. She does not blame her wife, does not humiliate the man. She simply shows the difference. There is not a shadow of competition in her behavior. She is above it. She demonstrates the level. The main weapon of the Capricorn woman is cold logic, which does not conflict with her femininity. Her control over emotions is frightening and attractive at the same time. There is no hysteria, tears, complaints in her. She does not ask, she offers. And this offer is always wrapped in delicacy, calmness, and confidence, which is not found in stable but boring relationships. A man next to her begins to feel needed. She does it masterfully, not with words but with deeds. She sees his weaknesses, but does not hit them. On the contrary, she covers them. She is not interested in conflict. She simply creates conditions in which leaving becomes a logical decision. This is where her destructive magic lies. She does not fight for love. She becomes a choice that cannot be ignored. A Capricorn woman is never in a hurry. She patiently waits, observes, draws conclusions. And only when she is convinced that the situation is under control, she becomes active. But she does it not through the body, but through the mind. She becomes a mirror in which a man sees himself for the first time as he wants to be. And if he feels that with her he grows, develops, makes decisions, he leaves. Himself. Without scandal, without return. She does not destroy the family in the literal sense. She pulls the man out of the format that no longer nourishes him. She does this without violence, without dirt, without pressure. She simply shows how things can be different, and this turns out to be stronger than any promises. The second sign is Sagittarius. She has no plan, but she has an incredible sense of the moment. The Sagittarius woman bursts into life not as a homewrecker, but as a wind that cannot be stopped. She is not afraid of taboos, does not recognize boundaries, is not interested in other people's cliches about fidelity. If she feels that a man looks differently, thinks deeper, dreams louder, she takes him. Without drama, but with full awareness of her strength. You do not need to attract her. She chooses herself. And if the goal is set, she does not care whether the man is free or not. In her system of values, one thing is important: honesty with herself. She does not seduce, she ignites. Her sincerity, openness, passion destroy any conventions. She does not compete. She simply exists so brightly that everything fades next to her, including the previous life of the chosen one. A man does not leave someone, he goes to her. Because he lives with her, for real. Because every moment with her is an adventure, an emotion, a growth. She does not tie you down, but gives you a feeling of freedom in which you want to stay. This is her main mechanism of influence. The Sagittarius woman does not humiliate her rival. She does not even notice her. For her, there is no struggle for a place next to a man. She simply says, "Here I am. You have never met someone like me," and he stays. Because no story before her was so alive. She does not give guarantees, does not make plans for the future, but it is with her that you want to start all over again. Her emotional directness disarms. She can say to your face what no one has dared to say for years, and it is in this honesty that there is magic. A man feels, with her, you can be real, without filters, without the fear of being misunderstood. This attracts more than beauty. The break she causes is almost always irreversible. Because Sagittarius does not destroy, she replaces. And she does this not through war, but through life. She simply lives the way another person wants to live, and he follows her without feeling guilty. The third sign is Virgo. She does not look for an opportunity to ruin a relationship. She observes. A Virgo woman never acts spontaneously. She reads the situation, evaluates the weak points, and only then makes a decision. But if she decides that the man in front of her is worthy of her attention, she will not back down. Her cunning is in invisibility. She does not catch the eye, does not shout about herself, does not demand attention. She just appears, and then stays. Unnoticed, accurately, competently. She enters the man's routine, becomes part of his thoughts, life, decisions. And gradually he begins to need her, himself, without pressure. She does not flirt, she makes it clear that she understands him. She notices little things, speaks on time, does what inspires confidence. And when a man feels that it is easier, more understandable, safer with her, he begins to open up, and then to compare. And the former partner loses ground, not because she is worse, but because with Virgo it is quieter, more precisely, more reliable. Virgo does not tear her clothes, does not roll her eyes, does not put on show numbers. Her style is practicality. She takes a step, and the man can no longer imagine how he managed without it before. She quietly becomes irreplaceable. She is not in loud scenes, but she is in coffee in the morning, in reminders, in competent advice, in support. Her skill is in substitution. She does not displace. She covers, so that over time the man makes his own choice. Because next to her there are fewer conflicts, more order, clear boundaries, and clear goals. And that means stability, and that means the future. She will never say choose. She will simply be there, act, anticipate, help. And the man, having compared, will not find arguments in favor of the past, because Virgo is the silence that replaces noise. She doesn't fight. She shows how things can be different, and that turns out to be stronger than any fight. The fourth sign is Aries. She never waits. She takes. An Aries woman is not a random shadow on the horizon of someone else's romance. She is a shockwave that breaks the structure of hierarchies. She does not hunt. She goes straight, without turning away and without calculating strategies. Her confidence makes men feel like they are breathing for real for the first time. And this is not a metaphor. She does not try to please. She is already inside, and you did not even notice when it all began. Aries women do not need to destroy relationships for the sake of a game. They simply do not perceive boundaries as something obligatory. If a man looks at her with interest, she will not ask if he has someone. For her, it does not matter. She evaluates differently. Is he alive or has already faded away? If alive, she will take, and if faded, she will not touch. The strength of an Aries woman is that she does not promise. She creates such emotions that do not require promises. In her presence, a man feels freedom that he did not have even in his youth. With her, the fear of being judged, weak, vulnerable disappears. And that is why he leaves. Not because she took him away, but because he chose it himself. Next to her, he feels like a man. And in the old relationship, a function. The uniqueness of the Aries woman is that she is not a rival. She does not compare herself with her wife, girlfriend, or partner. She acts as if there is no one. And this is disarming. Her phrase, "I don't care who you are with," does not sound impudent, but as if it is true. And this is not a game. She does not play the homewrecker. She simply does not recognize fixation. And her inner freedom always infects the one who is near. At the same time, the Aries woman will not hold. She came, and you feel that you are alive. She left, and you understand that you have never had anything like this. The men whom she took away later themselves admit, "It was not she who destroyed. It was me who collapsed when I realized that I could feel more." Her actions are fast. She can appear at the most unexpected moment. And after a few days, the man does not understand how he lived before without this rhythm, without these conversations, without this spark. She does not build illusions, but in her look there is always something that is so lacking in long, tired unions, a thirst for life. Yes, an Aries woman can become a homewrecker, but not because she wanted to, but because no one could refuse her. And not out of passion, but from the feeling something else, more real, begins with her. This is where the phenomenon of her power lies. She does not destroy, she illuminates. And after that, the old no longer seems viable. She does not ask a man to leave. She just makes it so that he goes himself. And not because he loves her, but because he can no longer not live. The fifth sign is Leo. A Leo woman does not enter into a relationship quietly. Her appearance is always an event. She does not disguise herself, does not belittle herself, is not afraid of other people's opinions. She knows what she wants, and will not wait for someone to decide whether she is worthy. She decides for herself. If a man is interested in her, it means only one thing: she will be there. And it does not matter if he has someone. Her strength is in demonstrative honesty. She does not hide her intentions. She can directly say, "I like your energy." This is not coquetry. This is confidence. And this is what makes her dangerous. The Leo woman does not compete. She acts. She does not waste time on surveillance, manipulation, or testing boundaries. She simply shows that she can be the center of attention. And men cannot stand it. Her charisma is so bright that everyone else seems dull. She speaks to a man as an equal, but at the same time creates the feeling that he is next to a queen. With her, he feels status. He straightens his shoulders. He begins to speak louder. And even if he used to be gray, he becomes different next to her. A Leo woman is a homewrecker without malicious intent. She does not need to destroy. She simply shows an alternative. And this alternative is powerful, beautiful, confident. She does not capture men, she inspires them. And this is precisely her danger. Because next to her, a man feels that he has finally been appreciated. That he is desired, strong, bright again. She does not build strategies. She just comes. She smiles. She says it like it is. And suddenly a man realizes that in his old relationship, he has not been heard for a long time. Not admired. Not wanted. Next to a Leo woman, He remembers what he once was and wants to get it back. This is her nature. She does not destroy relationships. She destroys indifference. And if it has already accumulated in a couple, then next to her, the cracks become obvious. A man begins to see what he is missing, and often leaves not for her, but from where he is no longer noticed. A Leo woman does not hold. If he has not chosen, she leaves. But if he chose, he doesn't need to turn around. There will be no boredom next to her. There will be no silence. There will be no reproaches. With her there will be a stage, light, energy, movement. And when a man feels this flow, he can no longer go back. She didn't steal. She lit. And if the previous relationship couldn't withstand this light, it means they were long gone. A Leo woman is not a homewrecker. She is a catalyst, and nothing can be done about it.